one Edomite is going to make it. To be led into error and sin. And ultimately, when you take this thing, that's a sin. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and you might say, all you guys talk about is this thing, the same subject over and over again. Well, if it irks you to hear it, please do not watch our videos anymore. Bear with me for a minute. Let me just get this out of the way. Anyway, let me just read the this subject is being brought up so much because we're in that time. We ain't gonna talk about David had brown sandals with gold fringes on it, or he can play the harp behind his back. It said Revelation 12 verse 9. I read that. Let me go to Revelation 13 verse 14. Excuse me. And deceive planao G 4105 them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, and their miracles are their technology, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Now you should know who the beast is. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. And any of you knuckleheads out there that think that the image of the beast is a picture of Caesar Borgia, you're a complete dimwit. It's not. The image of the beast is not a picture of Caesar Borgia. Nobody's even talking about Caesar Borgia at this particular time in the prophecies. Somebody gonna come. Look, when you go get that jab, did they bring out a picture of Caesar Borgia? When you line up to get the MOTB, are they gonna hold up a picture of Caesar Borgia? No, they ain't gonna hold no picture up of no Caesar Borgia. So for you dimwits out there that teach this nonsense, this crap, let me just close this. This crap that the image make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Now, when did Caesar Borgia get wounded by the sword and came back to life? He didn't. The image is talking about the system, which is the Roman system. That's the first beast. This is the revived beast that we're living in. And we told you in many videos who the beast is. Because this thing that's currently happening now, it's being orchestrated and governed by the beast. And you got them nations deceived. Revelation 18 verse 23, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all. Let me read it. Let me go right to the point. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. By thy sorceries were all nations deceived. This thing keep coming back up. Hold up. Do it this way. And his sorceries represent his witchcraft, which these demons work through this man's technology. which the Most High ultimately gave him. The Most High controls both the left hand side and the right hand side, so he controls the spiritual demons as well. Revelation 19 verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet. And we should know who the beast is. We should know who the false prophet represents, that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. So you should know what the mark is, and you should know who the beast is. And them that worship his image. Well, wait a minute. What about atheists? Aren't they going to get it? Yes, they are. What about Buddhists? What about people that celebrate that believe in Islam, or the Baha'i faith, or whatever faith that you're in? They're all going to worship that image, meaning they're all going to be a part of the system, and they're going to do what the system say do. It says these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Ain't no angel the Lord is not going to pick them up and throw them into a bucket of fire. This is parabolic, poetic. Revelation 20 verse 3. And like Apostle Gabar had did a video, and he pretty much said he was doing a lamb back on a video that I did about a guy saying that the other nations could make it. And the Apostle Gabar said this is for you ones that are coming into this thing newly. Because basically, you brothers that already know this, we're singing to the choir, as the old saying goes. So that's why we keep coming on this subject again and again and again and again. And the ones of you that know this thing, that been in this thing from the beginning, you already know this. You might watch it just to watch it. You already know what I'm going to say before I say it. And you might add to it. See, a lot of these guys, they'll do videos to look good, to come up with a lot of fancy, and like Bruce Lee, you know, he speaks about this fancy movement. Well, a lot of these guys, it's like double dutch or doing anything. You just do it. You don't know why you're doing it. You're just doing it until something else, some demon takes you away from this. These are the main subjects we're going to speak on. And if a new person in this truth asks a question not related to this, then it's up to me to answer it on the comment board or do a video on it. But this subject is one of the most important subjects in the scriptures, because this is the last major prophecy before the destruction and the deliverance of the sons of Israel. It's in Revelation 20 verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive, planao, make you go astray from the truth, deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. So now we know what that verse is talking about, because he was loose for a little season. We going back 500 years ago, when Esau came out of the bottomless pit and went to the new, what he calls a new world. That's the devil. As Bobby Boucher's mom would say, that's the devil. Revelation 20 verse 8, and shall go out to deceive, and they're doing it now in a big way. They offering you money, you can go to concerts. Well, if you don't got it, you can't go to concert, but if you got it, you can go to the concert. If you got it, you can eat at a restaurant. If you don't, you can't eat at this restaurant, you can't go to the supermarket. This is it. This is the final curtain call, as Michael Jackson would say, before his curtain was called. He just knew, the money was already in the bank. He just knew he was going to get paid, and the Most High took him. Hey, the Most High could take your life, he could take your life, and he could take your life. It's inside information for you brothers that were there when that man made that statement. And the Most High did take MJ's life. Revelation 20 verse 8, let me get ready to close. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to the battle. That's Armageddon. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea, because all these nations are going to be gathered. Revelation 20 verse 10. I'm reading the precepts that are dealing with the word deceive or deceived. It says, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Now that's symbolic talk for they're going to be burnt up, they're going to be destroyed, they're going to be done away with, but they're going to come back and they're going to be put into slavery. And this is why Esau comes against us, because they don't like that part where it says you got to go into slavery. And if they're true to themselves, they would know that they should go into slavery pursuant to the scriptures. That's why during the hardcore slavery, they had a Bible called the Slave Bible, and they took out all those passages dealing with payback and you reap what you sow. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Anyway, like I said, I'm singing to the choir, or speaking to the choir, and this is for some of you that don't understand it. And you other camps, you should be watching these videos, because we got the truth. GMS, there's a reason why we say GMS have 100% truth, because if you don't have this part of the truth, then you don't have 100% truth, which actually means you don't have truth, and you may get deceived by it. De Blasio might give you a check, $1,000 check, a G, one rack, and you might go ahead and go, I got to pay this rent, man. The rent moratorium is over, so let me see if I can get a quick G, a rack, as they say. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.